Hi class. If you were watching this video, it is because you did not pass the pre-assessment on this section, which is fine. Okay, it's been a while since we did fractions. So you are taking notes along with this video. What I would like you to do is make sure that as I am writing, you are also writing. If I show the work, you please show the work. I'm also going to write steps as I do this, and I want you to include the steps. The first thing that you need to recognize is that we cannot add fractions unless the denominators are the same. Okay, denominators need to be the same. I'm not doing an example where the denominators are the same because those are pretty easy. Okay, if that were true though, you would just add the tops and the bottom stays the same. These denominators are not the same. Okay, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to convert them to something where they are the same. Your first step, okay, I'm writing, so you're writing, is to find the least common multiple. Okay, LCM stands for least common multiple. When you do that, you take the denominators and you list factors. So 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, and so on and so forth. We don't even really need to go that far. Just to show you what you would do, though, 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18. But you would not need to do all of that because you recognize right away that they both have a 6 in common, and that is the smallest thing they have in common. Therefore, it's the least common multiple. The next thing that you're going to need to do is change the fractions to the same denominator. And I'm going to abbreviate denominator. I hope that's okay. So I'm going to list -8/3, and I'm going to make an equivalent fraction. The equivalent fraction just means that it's going to have the same value, except that it has a denominator of 6. Okay, I don't know what is going to go on the top yet. Okay, but I'm going to find that out very, very quickly. Okay, so let me go ahead and erase that little question mark right there. And let's do a simple conversion here. If I have to go from 3 to 6, what did I multiply by? I multiplied times 2. So what I do on the bottom, I need to do on the top. Now this is a -8 times 2, so this is going to be a -16. Okay, so -8/3, the equivalent fraction is -16/6. Let's look at the second fraction. We have 5/6. Well, we don't even need to create an equivalent fraction, okay, because it's already in the form we need it. It's already 5/6, so we don't need to do anything. Okay, the next step is we are going to perform the operation. So this was addition originally. I'm going to highlight that in a different color. So our new operation, or a fraction with our new equivalent fractions, is still going to be addition. -16/6 plus 5/6. Now here is where we're going to do a little extra, a note. The denominators do not get added or subtracted. They stay the same. Okay, so this is going to be -16 plus 5/6. If you'll notice, the denominators stayed the same. I did not say 6 plus 6 is 12. The denominator stays the same. Okay, this is integers that have different signs, so we subtract to keep the sign of the greater absolute value, -11/6. Your final step, if you needed to, is to reduce or simplify, if we could. In this case, -11/6 is as simple as it can get, so that is actually our answer. Okay, -11/6. What I'm going to have you do now is I'm going to have you go ahead and go to the next set of problems and have you try them yourself. Now I'd like you to try these on your own. Okay, if you'll notice, in number 1, you have different denominators. You're going to do what we just did. Number 2, you have the same denominator. And that's kind of cool because you won't have to find a common denominator there, but you are going to have to convert both, one of them anyways, to an improper fraction first. Okay, for number 3, the last example that you're going to try, I want you to recognize the 2 is a whole number. So this is actually 2 over 1, still in that weird pen mode. So you will have to go ahead and convert to a common denominator there. All right, so go ahead and pause the video, and I'm going to have you try these 3 fractions.